Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Yeah, I was going to say Winterpeg, but it's really not that bad. We're only at minus 11.7 Celsius right now. But you know, yesterday around 5 p.m. I stuck my head out the door, and I was really surprised. I had no idea how much it had warmed up yesterday. We were actually at zero, and like 32 Fahrenheit. And that was quite a shock. I was wondering why it looked like my stoop was sort of, the salt that I put down a couple of days earlier. I thought probably melted it, but I think it was the warm weather we had. If you could call zero warm. Okay, we talked about the weather. Okay, now about the sunrise. Now look at that. I think we might have a sunrise this morning in about half an hour from now. It's early again. I don't even have my curtains open. If I had them open right now, I'd be lit up like some sort of a grow up going on in here or something. And people would be driving by wondering what on earth's going on with all those lights. I like lots of light when I'm videoing. That way I can stop my lens down and get good depth of field. We've beat that to death, haven't we? Okay, now I did give this 77 a second coat. And when I was sitting here, a little while ago, I was looking at it, and I was noticing that if I take it and I catch the light just right, I can see what appears to be little shiny spots. Now, I haven't looked closely to see what that is, but I'm going to. And I can't figure that out, because unless it had something to do with the where is it here? The paint retarder that I put in. Maybe I put in too much. You know, I was noticing on this jar, unless I missed it, and maybe it's written in Japanese, because there's a lot of Japanese on this. It doesn't tell you what ratio to use. I've been on the internet, and it says put 1 drop of a paint retarder with 2 drops of paint. Well, that's pretty heavy ratio. And I did it yesterday, what I was guessing about 10 to 1. But maybe that's a little bit too much. Anyway, it seemed to go on pretty good. It did help to keep my brush. The paint retarder helped to keep my brush from drying out so fast. I've given these pieces here a second coat of deck tan. So I'll be putting the panel line accent color on that. Oh, no, I got to clear coat them first. Okay, yeah, I'll just brush the clear coat on. I guess I won't be doing the panel line today then, because I got to give the clear coat a while to dry. Unless I sort of rush it somehow with my heat gun or something, but that's not a good idea. What's the hurry, right? One of the viewers, speaking of what's the hurry, one of the viewers made a comment, and those of you who can read Italian probably read it. But it went something like this. I notice you seem to be losing your enthusiasm. And I guess he was going by the fact that I was wasting time fooling around with pipettes yesterday instead of actually, making the boat, the ship, the boat. And, well, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm losing my enthusiasm, but I do notice I am slowing down considerably. But I commented back to him that I'm going to keep going as long as I can, and that's the way it is. I'm just going to keep going as long as I can, and it gives me something to do here. Now, there was something else I was going to mention, and I forgot what it was. Well, I guess I'll think of it in a few minutes. And these parts, like this one here, is supposed to go right here. And I was thinking that the time to paint the sides of this is before I glue it on, and that way I'm not going to be accidentally getting 66. No, we're using the 20. What are we using on the side there? The 19. We're using the 19 on the sides of the superstructure. That 19, by the way, that I feel was a bad choice. I should have had something a little darker, or a little different shade. It is so much like this plastic that it makes it difficult to tell where you painted and where you haven't. But there is a difference. You can see the difference. After it dries, you can see that it doesn't have that plastic look. Anyway, now I remember what I was going to mention. I even have these pieces out here. how much of these other larger pieces do I have to paint the 77 on? You know, like where they're going to overlap. And I think what we'll do is we'll just sort of snap these down into place and see how much of you know what, the best thing to do is for me to recompose and to show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, anyway, thanks for joining me again. I hope you stay with me for the rest of the day. And I don't blame you if you don't. Okay? Now, when I get groceries delivered, they used to come in plastic bags. Now, first of all, I'm not complaining here, don't get me wrong. They used to come in plastic bags, and now they come in these flats that the store receives their produce in. Like this one here, it used to have tomatoes in it. This one here had grapes in it. All the way from Peru. All the way down in Peru to up to Winnipeg. Can you believe it? Anyway, and this one over here, it used to have mushrooms. Okay, now in order to save the environment, they're not using plastic bags anymore. They're giving you these things. And I guess the idea is, and this is what I do, I cut them up so that they'll fit into my recycle bin. And yeah, but what made me think of that this morning is that one of the viewers made the comment that he does not use pipettes, not because of the problem of the fact that you lose paint stuck on the inside of it, but from an environmental impact. And that's sort of true. That's another bad thing about pipettes. They're made of a plastic that is probably really hard to decompose, if it even does. It might last for almost forever. And our landfills are getting so full of plastics. And in some instances, how is it that the oceans are getting plastic bags in them? Is somebody dumping plastic bags into the ocean? The garbage, I mean? Anyway, yeah, so I can see that's a bit of a problem with pipettes. They're a little one-use item, and I don't know, and we're doing an awful lot of that. When I was a kid, when we used to get our milk, it came in glass bottles, and about the only thing disposable on it was the little cardboard top on it that you peeled off. Yeah, and then you took the glass bottle back to the store, and it went back to to what we used to call the creamery, and well, you know what I'm trying to say. We seem to be wasting an awful lot lately. Yeah, maybe I should stop using pipettes. Well, what am I going to do with the pipettes now that I've already got? I think I got 300 pipettes. You know, I was going to say, maybe I should throw them out, but no. And I don't want to burn them. When I was a kid, we used to have in the backyard what was called an incinerator. I can still remember that. And we used to burn the garbage. Well, that sort of was probably bad for the environment too, all those toxins and everything going up into the air. Yeah, I don't know. We humans are a funny bunch. You know, animals don't have this problem. We should know better. We're smarter. Okay, let's get back to the model ship here. Am I looking for more excuses to not work on the ship today? Oh, this thing is working out good. And by the way, those viewers who suggested that the idea of being able to take the back off of it, it is. Let's see if I can just, well, it's pretty hard to show you here, but the idea is you take this off, okay, and it makes it easy to put the pills in. So yeah, you people that suggested that possibility, you were right. That's what it's for. Okay, now let's get back to the model ship. Now, a few moments ago I put on the flat clear. It's not even dry yet. You can see it's kind of shiny. And I'm wondering if I might have put it on just a little bit too thick, because what I was trying to do was put it on with one pass, and I used my wide brush, and the reason I wanted to do it in one pass is so that I wasn't going to scrub the deck tan. And as it turned out, I was noticing that there was a little bit of deck tan mixed in with on the end of the brush. So it I don't know if it was the what you might say the powdered deck tan on the very surface of the paint to give it its flat look, you know, if you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what goes in those holes, by the way, is 20 millimeter machine guns, anti-aircraft guns. Okay, that's done. Gonna have to wait till tomorrow, though, before I can actually do the panel line color thing. Okay, now we were wondering how much of places like here and around here, and I think there's going to be a gun tub go on here. I should maybe find that later and set it down there just to see how much of the deck tan it's going to cover. And this goes on here, like so. Now that's actually right down in place there. Okay. And then this one here that we just finished is going to go on the top. There we go. Yeah, that goes like that. Now, I would think, where's something I can point with here? Maybe this little brush will do it. I would think it'd probably be a good idea to paint along the edge where it sort of sticks out here on the sides. Yeah, in other words, everything except the planking, I think, should be the 77, and around the base of these turrets, you know, it should be the 77, but the walls of the turrets, I want to have the 19 to match the sides of the superstructure. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's pretty common sense here. There's a piece that goes on the end here. Remember, we made that up. Okay, this is actually how it goes. So when it fits in place there, how much of the are we going to be showing here? There's quite a bit there. You can see it. At least you should be able to. If I got everything adjusted right. Okay, so in other words, what I'd want to do is, you know, paint most of the edge of this right up to the planking with the 77. And okay, let me just find the gun tubs or whatever it is that's supposed to go on there, and so I'll know how much of these to actually paint. It could be that the gun tub actually goes right up to the edge here, in which case I won't need to bother, but I don't think so. It might not even be a gun tub, but I'm pretty sure it is. Well, we'll soon know. Okay, the gun tubs in question are J32 and J39. Now I wrote on the bottom of them, we're not going to be seeing that anyway, right? And it's 39 that goes right here. I haven't tried it yet, but you sort of see how it's supposed to go. I imagine this lip is supposed to hang over the edge. This is the first time. That seemed to want to go right or not. I thought it would lock into place better than it did, but there's quite a bit of, you might say, play. Why is that not locking into place the way I thought it should? Oh, maybe because I had it wrong. Let's try it this way. Yeah, that's better. That's more like Trumpeter. They do make their parts fit well. Got to give them that for credit. Now there's going to be more pieces attached to this that go right in here. All right, now about where we're going to have to paint. So let me get this around so you can see it a little better here. You can see that the edge is going to stick out. So in other words, get this off of here very carefully. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to have to probably do a couple of millimeters on the inside of that circle all the way around. Well, that's sort of what I figured it was going to be, but I just wasn't sure. All right, now before we can do anything with the 77 anywhere, I got to get the panel line color on. At least I don't have to clear coat. Okay, here we go. And this time I've got myself a little paper towel that I can get the excess out of the large brush. I think that was one of the mistakes I made last time. And get this out of the way here. And now it'd be really nice if it just, I could just stop there, but I know that I can't. I have to kind of bathe it on. I don't like to do this, but if I want it to match, everything else, I've pretty much got to do this. Yeah, I think wiping my brush periodically is going to work a lot better. Should have done that on the other part as well. Okay, well, let's put a little bit more on here. Maybe I should be getting a little bit more into the cracks. And I don't like to go with the grain because, as I mentioned before, then I'm afraid I'm going to be, getting it out of the crack. I think I did a better job in this panel than I did on anything previous. Yeah. Okay, well, that worked out all right. Let's turn this a little bit here. You got a bit of a shadow going on there. Yeah, I can envision when we have the 77, all the way around, on the gunnel here and or whatever that is, and I think it's gonna be all right. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest off camera now. So yeah, we'll see you in probably an hour. Well, I don't know if an hour has gone by or not. Probably pretty close. Where's this go? Oh yeah, here we go. All right, now the reason I've got, bow and then an arrow pointing that way, so I know that way is the bow, because a person has a tendency to think that the bow should be this way because it looks more like it, right? and and the conning tower, or whatever you call it, for the whatever this is sort of streamlined this way. So you sort of think that the ship is going to go in this direction, but it doesn't. It's actually going in this direction. And if you remember those flag lockers that I put in right here and here, I put them backwards. I got probably 3 or 4 comments on that. So we want to make sure we get them right, and that's why I've got the arrow there. Yeah, this is going to be covered up anyway. Now, I know it's blotchy, but at least it's going to match the main deck now. And I think once we get a lot of the detail on here, that's going to be, like the dark gray and the light gray, and it's going to contrast quite nice. And the blotchiness, well, that's weathering. That's weathering. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what else can we do here this afternoon. Well, what we can do here this afternoon is show you this morning's sunrise. It was not special, it was just nice. I don't know exactly how long it's been since I painted these, but I'm guessing about three hours ago maybe it was. I put the clear coat on there. And I was noticing it's dry now. I also did use the heat gun at 180 degrees for a while, so I don't know if that was a good idea or not, but I think it's probably safe to try and apply the Panline accent color to this deck tan, to this planking. Somebody was thinking that maybe these parts, some of these parts, add-on parts or whatever you call them, might not be planking. It should have been maybe the dark gray, the 77, but that is clearly planking. I'll put the macro lens on when I do it, and you'll see. But I was thinking that if I was going to lay them down on the table like this, and then how do I hold them? Whoops. Well, if you can see what I mean. So I was thinking, well, maybe if I used one of Chris's or a couple of Chris's alligator clips here. And then I was thinking, well, they might mark the splinter rail. And then I thought, well, I wonder how it would be to put, like Tony's tweezers. Where are they? Okay, we got these on Tony's tweezers. Well, why not put the same sort of thing on the alligator clip? And I don't see why not. If you remember, it was about I'm guessing several months ago now. We bought all these, and I'm not using them. So I'm just going to recompose here and see if we can't shrink it onto a couple of these, because it seems to me we have about 30 of these clips. So now, nowhere on the box of these pieces of tubing does it say what temperature you're supposed to put your heat gun up to. It does say that they are flame retardant, but I've got my heat gun adjusted for 350 here. Let's just see what happens. I can always fast forward if I have to, if nothing seems to happen. So. I think that's going to be all right. Oh, no, it's not. I'm going to have to redo it, and here's why. When I heated them up I should have heated them up when they were open. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to clamp these in the open position and redo it. Okay, I'm going to do it the same way, only properly. Okay, I think it's going to work better this time, and I've got the heat set to 350 again, same as last time. Okay, we'll let those cool and give them a try. Well, it's getting on here this afternoon. We're going to have to try out our improved alligator clips. Probably, well, no promises. There might be a special tonight. Anyway, it'll be tomorrow for you guys. Thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.